we came to this country to do better. I became a father at a really young age.
Why do you take this leap and why do you stick to it?
I was a kid that had a lot of dreams, and I still have a lot of dreams. Barbering for me came very natural. I started getting better at it. 3 years and a half into my business, I bought my first commercial property, and then I moved and I put my business there. I'm that kind of person that I don't like doing things I don't want to do. I used to go into the barbershop, it was two things: the smell of barbershop and then the chairs. And they were like, wow. And I would see all the guys talking and being men. From remembering those things as a little kid, building what Gentleman's is now.
Like, what makes your barbershop different, and how are you now 3 barbershops deep?
From one little dream that I had, look at all these people, they're working. Whoever they're doing is still sticking to the barber industry, they're doing it right. And this is only helping the industry. I wanted to do something different. And the barber industry is only getting better, man.
Our next guest is proof that sometimes it's not a grand plan that changes your life. It's one tool, one decision, and the discipline to stay consistent when nobody's clapping. He came to this country as a kid, raised in an immigrant household where the blueprint was simple: school, stability, a real career. But life doesn't always wait for the perfect timing. He became a father at 19, and survival became the job description. Labor work, warehouses, machine chops, just doing what he had to do. Then, a pair of clippers. Something that started as necessity turned into purpose. And that purpose became a brand built on standards, traditions, craft, professionalism, and the belief that your work represents who you are. Since 2012, he's built Gentleman's Barbershop, and more than just a shop, it's a system, a culture, and a place where people's lives change, not just clients, barbers, families, employees, real people with real responsibilities. And even through dark seasons, he stayed grounded in faith, leadership, and the long game. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the platform, the CEO of Gentleman's Barbershop, Ronald Corales.
Thank you.
Welcome, my friend.
Thank you, Nick, for having me over here.
Yeah, welcome, man. I think to put things into context, I've been a fan of yours for a while. We've been friends somehow, some way on social media, and I've been watching your journey, right? I think it's something that stood out to me. And for those that don't know, this is the first time we're actually meeting in person.
Yeah.
So we've had talks about working together, about doing some content, doing some stuff to really be able to collaborate and push the envelope. And once I started this, your name kept ringing in the back of my head. You know, you're one of the people. It says a lot too that you believe in this before anything's even out, right? I just reached out to you and I was like, man, this guy seems like he knows what he's talking about. Seems like he's doing some great things. I would love to feature him on the podcast. So for those that don't know, and for myself too, because I don't know, right? I want to start with, who is Ronald before the Clippers?
Ronald was a kid that had a lot of dreams, and I still have a lot of dreams. And yeah, that was Ronald. You know, a young kid, grew up in Jersey, from Elizabeth, New Jersey. So with a lot of dreams, a lot of obstacles in life as well. Beautiful family. My mom, my father, my sisters, my brothers. And yeah, that was Ronald as a kid, you know, with a lot of dreams.
Okay. Would you say you had a good support system growing up?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, you know, sometimes our parents, they try their best from the things that they know. But yeah, they were very supportive. Sometimes not at the beginning, but I had to stick to my plan. And so
that's why I was asking, because me and you spoke before, and when you first started doing this, they didn't understand, right?
No. There was some couple of, you know, negative comments. Probably my family didn't take it too seriously that I wanted to, you know, to become a barber and stuff like that. It started like a hobby, and you know, like I told you before, it was that generation, my parents immigrated to this country and they wanted me to go to college and go to school. You got to read, you got to do this and that, but it wasn't for me. And then I became a father at a really young age, and I had to see ways how to improve my life, how to change things, because things weren't going good, and I didn't want to go the wrong route. And because I always had my family in my head, there was probably some thoughts about it, but that wasn't me. That wasn't like what I was raised. That's not what my father, when he told me when we were little, we came to this country to do better. To do better with our lives and just be better. The American dream, they call it, right? So, yeah.
So I find it interesting that you say that your father came to this country to do better, right?
Yeah.
He gets to this country, he does better.
Yeah.
Then you are raised in this country, and you find a different better. And now he's maybe a little more reserved and like, no, the better is this way. Why do you take this leap, and why do you stick to it? Why do you because especially like for me, right? For me, it was the opposite. Like my parents always enabled what I wanted to do. I still remember when I was younger, I had my room that had my parents were together till I was 18. And I knew this, crazy. I knew they were gonna be together till I was 18 because my mom told me, I'm staying with your dad till you turn 18. I'm doing it for you. Like, well, whatever, all right. Dad turned 18, she left. But I was prepared for it. It was amazing, right? So they used to share the big room in the house, and eventually got to a point where they both slept in different rooms, right? And I took the big room because I wanted to make a studio. I wanted to make a music studio. So I wanted to turn the closet into a booth. I wanted to record, make music.
You had it at a young age, man.
Yeah.
Look at this.
That was my thing I wanted to do, right? But I wanted to do it with not much. Like my parents didn't have a lot growing up. It was still a small house. It was just a bigger room in that house, right? But they were like, all right, you want to do it? Cool, let's figure it out. My dad he used to do construction at that time. So he built this little studio for me. But in that sense, right, they were enabling what I wanted to do. So there was always the sense of, hey, what you're doing, eventually, hopefully it'll make you some money, which it did, because I started recording people in my house. Then I transitioned to doing videos, and that's kind of how I got into my world, right? So for you, not necessarily having that backing from your parents, what pushed you and drove you to say, hey, this is what I believe in. I'm going to take this leap. And it's okay if it doesn't work out for me.
There was a lot of things at a young age that I just didn't. I'm that kind of person that I don't like doing things I don't want to do.
Okay.
So there was just things like when I remember at a young age working at a machine shop. It was a job. I had to do it, but I just looked at myself and I'm like, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. And people that I used to work, I remember they saw it in me that, this is not for me. But life pushed me to do things. Like it was just, the events in that time in my life. Like I said, being a father at a young age, and I had this big responsibility, and there's this kid, and no kind of education, nothing, no job. I'm not making money. So barbering for me came very natural. And I started getting better at it.
Did you have a mentor? Did you learn that from somebody? Like
no, it was just something that came very natural. It was at that age when I was a teenager. I wanted to get haircuts, and my mom would give me money, but things were limited growing up. But there was something always about the barbershop growing up that I liked, especially growing up, in the Elizabeth, New Jersey area, like. The old school barbershops, those all Italian guys with white shirt looking neat. I always used to look at them like, wow. And the way how, like, I remember going to this guy. I was a little kid. I was probably 7 or 8 years old. And he would get so much respect from people. Like, he was always dressed nice. And there was always one thing when I used to go into the barbershop, it was two things. The smell of barbershop, and then the chairs. And they were like, wow. And I would see all the guys talking and being men, just having like men conversation. And I'm here like just looking as a little kid. I like it. And I always had that in my mind. And I think that's what pushed me, to do barbering too. But that's what, from remembering those things as a little kid, building what Gentleman's is now.
I love that. And it's crazy because when you're in the moment, you're a kid, right? You're just appreciating it.
Yeah.
But then when you look back at it, you're like, that was the moment.
Yeah.
Those were the moments that really pushed me to do what I'm doing now.
Like it was just amazing for me as a little kid walking into the barbershop and seeing all these guys, like just talking with, and some of them they're smoking cigarettes, back in the 90s, and reading the newspaper, everybody well groomed and well dressed. I'm like, wow, this is nice.
And it's crazy you say that because every time I go get a haircut, I tell my barbers there, my barber and then his team, I'm like, yo, if y'all had a camera here all day recording you guys, like you'd be famous. Like, cause like the moments, like for us as men, getting a haircut, you share some deep moments once you get to know your barber, right? Yeah. Like these are moments like it's almost just your therapist at a certain point, right? You really get to share a moment that's really unique, and to be able to package that experience and present it in the way that you've been successful at presenting it really says a lot. Yeah. So, all right. You get these clippers out of necessity, right? Because what you were like, I can't go and keep getting these haircuts all the time. Yeah, and then like I started cutting my friends back in high school here and then my family members. You got some good friends. Oh, I butchered them. It was. I remember I thought because I knew how to do a certain haircut. Oh, I'm a barber. I know what I'm doing. No, but the first now I think about it. It was obviously in you, right? The first one. Well, yeah, but my uncle. He passed away, right? But my uncle Carlos, he was my first victim. Feel so bad for him because he was. I remember we were in the bathroom. I was cutting his hair for like an hour and a half. It was a very simple haircut. Well, now that I'm a barber and have all these years of experience, it was a simple haircut. But yeah, it was in cutting my friends and everything. But my family never really saw that like it was something like a career, and a lot has to do with it too because I guess where I grew up in that city, my mom saw that, I would know how to cut hair and this, like it just came very naturally. But a lot of those barber shops in that area, they got raided, drugs. And then she heard something like, oh, those barbers, they learn how to cut hair in prison. So my mom was like, no, mi hijo, no, not my son. So again, so she didn't really push me to like, oh yeah, you want to be a barber? Go to school. Like, no, it wasn't like that. So like I said, the support was there, was different. I don't want to blame them because sometimes they didn't know it, Like my mom was very opposed for me to get a credit card. Now, I have a business, I have all these investment properties. Credit is very important. I think my first credit card, I got it at 24, 25. Wow. So, yeah, so she didn't know. So I don't want to blame her. Yeah, and it wasn't because she had bad experiences. And then she was like, no. You don't want to get a credit card. I don't blame her. I mean, she went through a lot with it, but in her experience. But then the support was there. I proved them. I remember I wanted to buy a car. I was already working at a machine shop and then part-time at a barbershop. This lady that gave me a chance to start there, and she gave me the chance to go to school. But I started, making some money and everything, and I wanted to get a car. And I remember going to the dealership, and the guy was just like, no. But I'm like, I have this cash, and he was just like, no. So I went over to my mom, and I was like, Mom, please, I'm probably gonna say no. I promise you, I will pay for this car. Like, I'll give you 2 years, and I will pay it off. And she was like, okay. But I think she was already starting to see that, I was moving things and working and being responsible. I needed a better car with a 4-door, my son. I had to go pick him up and drop him off. And yeah. So then I paid it off in less than 2 years. I think what I love about what you just said, and you kind of just went past it, right? You said I was working at a machine shop and then I was cutting hair. Yeah. You had a 9-to-5 while still practicing your 5 to 9. I was actually working night shift. It was like at 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. I will get out to work on a Friday, for example, and 8:30, 9 a.m., the first clients will come into my mom's house and start cutting them. Oh, at mom's house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how it started. Oh yeah, so it started at my mom's house, yeah, and that's how I started here in Easton. So
Wow. Okay. But that says a lot about your work ethic, right? It seems like you've always had that no matter what.
you know what it is? I turned 40 this year. You just said something earlier before you're 30. You're starting to change certain things, the way how you think, right? I tell the younger kids that are starting in this career, sometimes there's things in life that you don't, for example, how can I say this? They're not pretty, they're not the most comfortable. But sometimes you have to do it because it's gonna give you a better life. It's a better path for you. And just do it. Just go for it. You know, just be more, how can I say this? I feel like some people, they grow up with this entitlement, you know, and that's really affecting, especially the younger generation right now.
Yeah, I think especially now where we have so many things accessible to us.
It's so easy.
It's so
disposable.
It's so easy, but then and also in a sense it becomes so hard because we have so many options.
Too many options.
Right? Like when before, like I was raised in that era where, for example, like cell phones just came in as I was getting older, right? And I still remember getting my first cell phone and I was mad. It's my 12th birthday. I'm like, why are you giving me a cell phone? I don't want this.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I wanted at that time, but we're that generation that we played outside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, I think it's my last generation that played
the
outside.
last generation.
So it's like, you know, I was even telling my friend before he left, is like, yo, where are those kids that used to want a shovel? Right?
Yeah.
Remember when we were younger, they would be knocking.
I'm
at
looking
your door.
for them.
Yeah, right. We got that storm. By the time this is out, with the storm will have passed, and hopefully
I'm looking for them. Send them over.
So it's like, you know, the work ethic was just different then.
And the way how you're, for example, another thing too is my parents, immigrants. And I see this on them every day. It's work. My mom, at one point, she had 3 jobs. Man.
Wow.
So for me, that's normal. So like I'm telling you, even though I wasn't doing barbering right from the beginning, because I had, you know, to be a father and be, you know, responsible with a lot of things, I was doing jobs that I didn't really like, but you know what? It was paying the bills at that point. And I just had to do it. So...
And being a father at that age is,
like you don't,
a different
you know,
level
but
of
it was,
responsibility.
I messed up a lot. Like I didn't know what I was doing. You know, I started learning with time after messing up a couple of times. So some people, they see me now, they be like, oh, big shot Ron, because they don't see me, you know, that often. But I went through a lot. There's a lot of risks that you have to take in life. If you want to grow, you have to take the risk. And you're going to fail most of the time. But you just don't have to give up.
I love that.
Yeah.
Stick through it.
Put your emotions aside. And especially if you're a man, if you have a family, if you have people that depend on you, be grateful that you have a roof over your head. There's food, you're healthy. You could lose all your pennies. But if you have health and you have God with you, guiding you, keep going.
I love that mindset. And I think more people need to hear that often. And need to be reminded of that. There's so many people that walk throughout their day and they're not reminded of those things, you know? So when somebody actually tells them that, it's like, whoa, you just grounded me. Now I'm back and now I can see things a little bit better, right?
And God will ground you. Like, you know, like you will have all these things. Like I remember a couple of years ago, you know, like I had this different kind of lifestyle before. I would like travel, party a lot, this and then. None of these people are here anymore. It's just temporarily. And then life hits you with a different reality. Then you have to a little setback. And I'm like, okay, priorities. What is this? What is that? What I have to do? Focus.
And it's a beautiful learning curve, right?
Yeah, man. You know what? Life, my son right now is 20 years old. And I tell him, it's a rough world outside. It's not beautiful. And you're going to get hurt, but you need to bounce back. And you need to learn from all those mistakes. Don't do it again. But just keep going forward, you know? So that's life, man. Sometimes we make it more complicated than what it is. I'm at this point now that it's like, I don't force things. I really don't. No, Ronald, I think we should discuss about this and that, but what am I getting from this? Dude, like, this is, as I'm getting older, I value other things. See, I deal with a lot of things going on during the day. Oh, we have a pipe burst, this and that, or you got a little ticket because they didn't shovel the snow. One of the barbers calling off, all this, 8-10 hours a day, for example. There's problems. Life is gonna have problems. You just need to know how to solve them. Find a solution, do what you can. But sometimes we make it hard for ourselves. We make it more complicated. Don't force it.
No,
I asked one of my friends that he's talking to this girl. Oh, she's leaving me on red and stuff like that. Let her go. Dude, you're literally just wasting your time, your emotions, whatever. For this girl, it's not replying or whatever. A woman will make it easy if she likes you, man.
Yeah. And it's kind of as you get older, there's
You start seeing all these things.
Yeah, there's things you have no control over.
Yeah.
Right? So how are you going to stress over the things you can't control?
Yeah.
Right? So, little Ronald, and not little, but younger Ronald, is working at this machine shop overnight. Then he comes home to his mom's house to cut from 8:30 to whenever you were cutting. All right. At what point does barbering and being a barber start to shine a light on, man, I could really make this into a career instead of working at this machine shop?
This is before Facebook and all of this social media. It was, I like using this word organically. People would knock on my door.
No way.
Would knock on my mom's door.
They wouldn't even text you or
Ronald,
call you,
Like, who's this stranger trying to, like, yo, I heard you nice with it. Like, like, at one point they thought I was selling drugs or something. Yeah. But, yeah. And it was the connection with people, meeting different kind of people and the respect and the love that you get, hearing their stories, even cutting at my mom's house, hearing their stories. It was nice, and learning. I met some really nice people through the barbershop, man.
Okay, so from your mom's house, what happens next? Do you go and be a barber at a barbershop?
Yeah, so the word was spreading that there was this kid that was cutting hair at his mom's house, and some lady, this lady, she got in touch with me. She called me. She gave me the chance. She saw a lot of potential, and she gave me the opportunity. Which Daisy, te quiero mucho por darme esa oportunidad. She gave me the opportunity. So
she was the owner of a barbershop?
Yeah, she was the owner of this hair salon. It was a very Latino hair salon. They had Primer Impacto, Telemundo, So,
Doctora Laura.
Yeah. Que pase, desgraciado. But yeah, this lady gave me the chance. I will always be grateful for her, So, and then time went on, and I remember when I left, I told her. I remember she cried, she hugged me. And I always remember, she said it in Spanish. No te puedo dar más. Yo sé que Dios tiene cosas mejores para ti. God has better things for you. You're going to grow. You're going to do good. So, yeah.
So, I want to ask you this before you move on. Mm-hmm. You're cutting at your mom's house, and then you're cutting in a barbershop.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
That my mom was making alfajores in the kitchen, la carne and all that kind of stuff. It was smelling like food. Mm-hmm. It was okay, but if you want to grow, you want to do it more professionally.
So once you enter this professional, the first taste of doing it in a professional setting, are you seeing different systems being implemented? Are you seeing how the business is running, or you're not paying attention to these things?
No,
yet?
I am. I actually... One of the reasons I named it Gentlemen's, because my father has a big role in this. My father was he was a blue-collar guy, but he was always very proper in a lot of things. Classic Latino man, or they want to say it in Spanish, bohemio, enamorado de la música. And he will always say that a man, if you don't need a lot in life, but make sure you're well-groomed, you know how to behave yourself, know how to talk to people, be nice. Doesn't take that much. Be a gentleman. You know? You gotta be a gentleman. And growing up, the barber industry, when I started, it wasn't what it is now. I actually like it. I hope, it would have been like that, but it wasn't like that. It was very, I say it was a very more urban.
That's where the streets came. That's what the streets was talking.
But as I started growing, I always had this thing, and I was like, it goes back when that little Ronald in Jersey saw the classic barbershops. You see? So I wanted to create something different. And I remember talking to this guy back in the days, because even when I opened my business, he was like, you're doing what everybody's doing. Because I'm like, I don't know why I can't retain employees like barbers. He goes, because you're doing what everybody's doing. Stick to your plan, even if it's only you. Even if you have to work 7 days a week, stick to your plan and believe in yourself.
So what was that plan? What was the difference?
With my business, well...
But wait, before we get there.
Okay.
Before we get there. Because you leave Daisy. Why do you leave? What's your intentions with that move?
I wanted to open my own barbershop.
Okay. And how long were you with Daisy for?
I think Daisy was like 3 years.
And at that point, you were a barber full time?
Yeah, I was already a barber.
So you left the machine shop, you were a barber.
Now, Daisy gave me the chance to go to barber school, and she worked with me, and she knew my story. I was a young dad and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. She gave me the chance then. But I was going for other things. She had a hair salon. I wanted to do a barbershop. And I had a good following. And so I went to another shop. I didn't go straight up to open my own barbershop. And that time, Easton, it wasn't like what it is now. I remember going on 4th Street and I see the buildings, the classic style. And I always had this thing for it goes back to the barber chairs, that classic look. I see in the buildings, and I saw this little shop for rent. And that's where it started, man. And it was a 500 square foot barbershop, just 2 stations. Every 6 months, I started adding one more, because I started growing. Was
the space already a barbershop?
No, nothing.
You saw it.
Yeah. It had a beautiful storefront.
Okay.
It was an early 1900s building. It was beautiful. But Easton was different back then. There was drugs on 4th Street. A couple of not good things. It's not what it used to be. What it is now. I believe Mayor Sal Panto did a good job, and all the city council members. Shout out to Easton, my city. So yeah, they're doing a great job. The restaurants are coming in. I was part of that group of people that we saw the changes in Easton. And 2 years into the business, it's booming. I was my first year, I was working 7 days a week. So.
Okay, so you open up this barbershop, and like you said, you start with 2 chairs, then you start multiplying. You had the space to do all of this, right? How many chairs did you end up having in that space?
Man, 4 stations then.
Okay.
I ended up with 4 stations.
So you say after opening, in 2 years, you start booming, right? It starts picking up. Walk me through that first year. What were some learning curves? What were some things that you expected to go a certain way, but ended up going a different way?
So I'm the first one in my family to have a business, really, here in the United States. I never really know anything. The only thing I knew was to cut hair. I did the basics, opening, the barbershop, getting my license and all that kind of stuff. I didn't really know anything. I learned a lot of these things with time. And I had some people. I remember one of my good mentors, Charlie, for example, he was my neighbor. We became friends. I still keep in touch with him now. He lives in New York. He saw me. He was like, you need to do certain things. You need to do this. You need to do that. Get this insurance. Get this. And there was a couple other people. And something happened in my 2nd year in business. There was a fire.
At the shop?
In the building. But it happened in the back part of the building. And it was a Friday or Saturday, it was summer. And here my heart is like, this is everything I have. like, what am I gonna do? Like, about to lose everything. So it only affected one part of the building, but that was a call. I remember Charlie, because I kept asking him, it was about Bitcoin and all of that stuff. I wish I would have bought some Bitcoin back then.
Charlie told you. Charlie told you.
And I started, asking him about stocks and all this. I didn't know anything about those things. Mm-hmm. Charlie said something very important to me that day. He goes, look, Ronald, before you buy stocks and all this, you need to buy something physical. You need to buy land. You need to buy something for your building. So no one can kick you out. You have more leverage, you could do more with it. And he was like, you're doing really good. Some people saw that, you're doing really good. And I worked so much, I saved my money, and I'll say 3 years and a half into my business, I bought my first commercial property, and then I moved and I put my business there. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
So now my man is a commercial business owner. He owns the building and he owns the business in it.
Yeah.
Is this, at this point, did you leave the first one, or this is your second business?
No. So yeah, this is more like a 1,200 square foot, barbershop. Mm-hmm. And I put more stations and, again, learning how to design and everything. So
you leave the first?
Yeah, go into that one.
Okay, so now
I only have one shop
now. You only got one shop, okay. Mm-hmm.
So, but now it's mine.
Paying yourself rent.
It was a really nice experience, man. It was a really nice experience. I remember when I was moving, clients helped me carry those heavy chairs and all that. It was a really nice experience. I had great barbers, man, throughout the year. Some of them, they have their own shops, which I'm so happy and proud of them, because I look at it that we're only elevating the industry.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow. That's major.
And they come out, look, I'm very proud, and if they get to hear this, I want to say that I'm very proud of them. Some of them, they move. Some of them, they're not even barbers, but whoever they're doing, still sticking to the barber industry, they're doing it right. And this is only helping the industry, because that was my dream back in 2012. I wanted to do something different. And the barber industry is only getting better, man. But that comes with education too. So we need to get all the barbers educated in a lot of things.
For sure. I mean, I think it's a pivotal moment when, or it's a great experience for you to have been little Ronald, seeing the classic barbers and remembering how that made you feel, how that experience made you feel. And then as you're growing up, you have Ronald experiencing the Elizabeth barbershop, which is two completely different worlds. Yeah. And then you're thinking about opening up your barbershop, and you're like, you know what, man, like I got to experience both. And this is the classic style, the gentleman's touch. That's what I want to bring back. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So what are some things that if I walked into your barbershop, I wouldn't see in a typical 9 to 5, like.
Oh, like other barbershops?
Yeah, like what makes your barbershop different, and how are you now 3 barbershops deep?
I mean, one of the first things, again, I have great staff with me. I had some great managers. They've been rocking with me for the past, 8 to 10 years already. But one of the first things you're gonna get is, hello, how you doing? From the beginning. You're gonna feel welcome. Hello, the eye contact, a little smile. Welcome to Gentlemen's. How can I help you? Cleanliness. There's a saying in Spanish, el cliente entra por los ojos. The first thing that you're gonna see is it's a nice shop. Culture, history. So you're gonna get those things.
It's more than just a haircut, it's an experience.
Yeah. See, and I tell my barbers, again, I tell my apprentices and everybody that is starting, I feel like a haircut, any barber could do it with different styles, is let's go a little bit deeper than that. Let's give the client, for those 30, 45 minutes that they're in your chair, make them feel comfortable. Talk to them. Some of these guys, trust me, I'm telling you, man, They don't have no kind of like human interaction probably sometimes. And just going into the barbershop, talking to your barber, hey, Mike, how you doing, man? How's the family? Little things like that. How's your day going? So clients go to the barbershop for different kind of reasons. Job interviews, weddings. You're going through a divorce, go sign those documents. You're going to the barbershop, funerals, baby showers. So you're getting all this emotions there. Something that I tell barbers is, let's have more respect for the clients, because they're the ones that are coming to the barbershop, and it's because of them that we're eating in a way. So, customer service, make them feel comfortable. I believe this is me, and people that have been working with me for a while, they know. I don't care if you're brown, black, white, gay, straight. For me, everybody's equal. Everybody's getting treated the same. So,
something as small as a hello, right? You don't see that in 90% of barbershops.
Yeah.
There's music blasting. Everybody's in their own world. They don't even see you sit down until they look up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Little things like that help build systems that are then able to be duplicated, are then able to be enforced, right? As a manager, I'm sure you've gone through this where you have to set your standards, live by your standards, and then enforce them when they're not being met, right? These are all great things that great managers have to do, great business owners have to do. So the fact that you paid attention to detail, the fact that maybe when somebody gets a haircut at Gentleman's Barbershop, the moment the haircut's done, the floor is swept. There's not a speck of hair in the barbershop.
We try to keep it, sometimes it's hard because we're busy.
Of course.
But like, for me, cleaning is very important.
Yeah, but these are definitely standards that you're setting that are setting you apart from the traditional barbershop experience.
Like, my barbers actually look like barbers.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, like, I'm big. Wear your aprons, wear your shirts. I want you to, like, when clients come in, I want them to see a difference, that those are customers and those are the professional barbers. So yeah, like, probably I invest a little bit more than other barbershops when it comes to aesthetics and all of that. But that's just me personally. I like what I do. I like the whole history. I know I spend money on chairs and all of that, but this is long term. It's probably gonna go to my grandkids one day, man. So, but with that saying is, even if one of my grandkids decides to be a barber, for example, your grandfather did it, you could do it as well.
Yeah, and little Ronald obviously saw something and something that stuck. Like, imagine how what you're doing is affecting the next little Ronald that comes in with his dad and goes to your barbershop, and you never know how many people you could be inspiring by what you're doing right now. And I think that's an everyday thing that, I want to say thank you for what you do, because the way you set the standard is gonna affect anybody that walks through your barbershop.
Yeah.
Like you said, there's so many different emotions that come into the barbershop, but I guarantee you that everybody that stepped foot in there, because of what you set in place, when they leave, they feel 10 times better.
Yeah.
No matter what. Obviously they got a fresh cut.
I always say, like, haircut, getting your beard trim at the barbershop for men is like women in makeup.
Yeah.
And when they go to the barbershop, we like something to drink, we have water, we have a beer, just, stuff like that. It's little things that makes a difference.
Yeah.
But then again, that's just me. And again, my managers, they know that. I tell them, I'm not telling you to be like me, but let's just follow certain things and then do you, because this is you. So I'm not just that investor that's opening barbershop. No. I know how it feels working behind a chair for 8 hours. I know what it is to mess up on a haircut and get a bad review and all that stuff. So I'm a barber. I'm Ronald Corales, but I could do other things. But for me, barbering has a very special part of my heart, because if it's not for barbering, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. It changed my life, man.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
I love that. And it's dope to see it. It's dope that you get to share that with me. I love the fact that you have these standards, but you're not micromanaging. That's what I hear.
And it goes back to what I tell you. Don't force things. Keep it real. There's a blueprint. Follow those things. Follow the system. Don't make it too complicated. And when I'm in this career that you're an artist, in a way. So you're gonna do your own style.
Yeah.
Just keep it
And then, I mean, you know, having a happy employee is only going to benefit you in the long run. So I'm sure you've learned to manage and really educate these people, or more than anything, everybody learns differently too, right? So I'm sure that's also been an eye opener for you along the way, is how to teach these people to have these standards and values that stick. And in the long run, if they stick to it, you're the prime example because you've done it. So that's the beautiful thing I love about all these entrepreneurs I get to talk to. You guys live up to your standards. I've yet to come across one that's talking, oh, do this, do that, without actually doing it. You're doing everything you say. So there's never a point where they can say, nah, Ronald, that doesn't work. I did it. It works. Just make sure you stick to it, and it's going to work even better for you because you're going to do it your own way. So you open up Gentleman's Barbershop. Let's say Gentleman Barbershop 1 under your new building that you now own. So on another side of things, you're starting to learn a little bit about the real estate game. You remind me of the McDonald's movie. I'm sure people have told you
the
that.
Founder? Yeah.
So it's like, you know.
Oh, I watched that movie.
I bet you do. I bet you do, bro, because that's the story I'm getting. So it's dope to see that you started to understand that, it's great to own a barbershop, but it's also great to own the building. It's a thing that's going to benefit me in the long run, and now my grandkids can also benefit from that because it's long-term investment, right? So you have Gentleman's Barbershop. We're going to call it Gentleman's Barbershop 1, right? How do we get to number 2 and then number 3?
So Gentleman's Barbershop downtown in the basement, because it's in the basement, okay? And it's like the old school, you know? Business was good. I started with, I think with 6 stations. Now I have 8 stations. Getting barbers, everybody's getting booked. Business is doing good. And then there was an opportunity. My friend David was like, listen, the silk mill, the Simon Silk Mill, I'm Bushkill on 13. Like it's gonna be, he told me it's gonna be popping, it's gonna be good. Businesses like this, like that. Like we need you there. We're looking for someone like you. We like your style and everything. And I went for it. They have 2 barbershops, 2 Gentlemen's in Easton. Business was good. Let's open another one. I opened it in 2019, October 2019. With some work into it. And then the pandemic.
Wow.
Man, that hit me. So
when you opened that one, did you own that building as well? Like your area?
No, that's a lease.
Okay.
And I'm here like,
I've been there. It's a beautiful building. They had the businesses are flourishing, so it's a great space to be in.
I'm here with this other barbershop. I'm fully staffed in the other one. I only have like 2-3 barbers here. I still have to pay rent in this place. And I just did all this investment. I need to recover. And I'm like, oh man, how am I gonna do this? God is good, man. You know, I did a couple of things, and it was we were closed for 3 months, right? A lot of businesses were closed for 3 months. I used to have this car parked there, this BMW. I was like, that's not doing anything for me. I'm buying a van. I'm doing a mobile barbershop. So yeah, Gentleman's Barbershop was the first mobile barbershop in the Lehigh Valley.
There we go.
So,
okay.
Yeah,
So you got rid of the Beamer.
I sold the Beamer. I was like, I don't need all this. I need. It was very uncertain what was gonna happen. A lot of things were like, oh, another pandemic might come. The country. And I'm like, listen, I can't do this. What about? Again, it goes back to I like to have my options ready. You know, like so. If something doesn't work, I need to move to the next one. And then I was like, I'm buying a van. I bought myself a Honda Civic just to move myself, but I put my mind into this Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van, And
Okay, hold on. Not just any van.
yeah,
You bought the van.
Well, I got to give you guys the best to the best,
Yeah.
So beautiful van. We transformed. We took it to Jersey to HQ Customs. They specialize in customizing vans. And I remember the guy was like, "Yeah, you want to do a barbershop? Like this is a Russian guy that he used to work on submarines back in the days. He said, "From." I'm like, okay, so you must probably do something good. You're gonna do this to last." So he's like, "You want to do a barbershop?" I'm like, "I want to do a barbershop." Like he looked at me like, "Are you crazy?" Like, it's my money. Let me do it. All right, like
Giving it to you.
I'm here thinking the world's gonna end. I need to find something. Like we're gonna go probably into another pandemic. I need to cut a hair, and so we did the first mobile barbershop. We have a nice chair. When you get a chance, take a look at it. And it's been fun. I like it.
Okay.
We use it more for like private events, weddings. I've been to Philly, New York, go to the Poconos. And it's a very nice experience, man. So you guys getting married, want to look fresh for your weddings, just like the women get their makeup done and all that. We go over there and give you hot towel shaves and haircuts and all, and get you ready for the wedding.
That's awesome. So you open up this mobile barbershop when the pandemic hits. Did you close Gentleman's Barbershop number 2
I kept it open.
You kept it open?
I kept it open.
Okay.
Put my savings, everything, pay all my bills, and we open back up again. Boom. And then I have the downtown location. I have the silk mill, fully staffed. I'm doing the van. I'm doing weddings, this and that. And then I'm like, I started venturing more into real estate, and I like it. I like designing and all that stuff. And
so what are you specifically doing in real estate when you say you start venturing?
so it's what I do is like I'll buy the houses old and I fix them and I keep them.
Okay.
And I guess I'm an okay landlord.
Okay.
So dealing with tenants is easier than dealing with barbers.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
you must have the best vetting process.
And then again, I don't know if I'm lucky, man, but I get good people.
Yeah.
I get good people. Like even tenants, they move out and I'm still keeping in touch with them. They invite me to their house with their families and everything. Like they were like, "Ronald, how do I start this process of buying a house and stuff?" I set them up, sent them with a mortgage lender, with a real estate agent. Now they're inviting me to their new house. "Oh, he used to be my landlord." Stuff like that.
You want a haircut?
Again, yeah. So again, I feel like, I've been lucky with those things, man. Just having good people by my side always.
Yeah, I think it goes back to you being a good person yourself.
So kind of like venturing into the real estate, buying properties. I bought in the Dominican Republic, here and there. I was like, this kind of feels like a little bit boring, like I'm kind of retired in a way. Like I need more excitement. Again, I'm a barber, man, at the end of the day. I like that barbershop when it's busy. How can we take this walk in here and there? Like, I like all that stuff. And I go back, started dating this girl. She's from Bethlehem. And we will always go to Bethlehem Hotel, for example. And I was like, man, this city is nice. And a friend of mine back in the days, he would always tell me, you need to open something in Bethlehem. And I remember she was like, "Ronald, I think you would do really good here. There's no barbershops like your brand." And Bethlehem started growing in me for some reason. I like Bethlehem. And we did Gentleman's Barbershop of Bethlehem.
Really?
It's been a year and a half already.
Wow.
And it's been great, man. It's been great. Bethlehem, shout out to Bethlehem. Love you guys. And yeah, so.
Same standards, same values.
This shop is big, man. It's big. It's massive in a way. It has a lot of, like, I took my time building this shop, and it has a lot of characters. They all look like Gentlemen's, but this one has it's bigger. Like even my Christmas tree is huge. It's Bethlehem. It's Christmas City. So there's a lot of details into it, and it's been good. It grabbed a lot of attention. I'm fully staffed. I have all my 8 barbers and one apprentice, so it's like 10 of us now there. But it grabbed attention. We had CNN going, 69 News. We had the Japanese broadcast going, couple of interviews. We had Ryan McKenzie, state representative. So we have some interesting people going into our Bethlehem location.
Yeah, I think you grabbed my attention too, because it's like, I wouldn't say that you're not big on social media, but
I've been very quiet the past 2 years.
Yeah, I think you've been quiet, but it's also like when anything happened, it was something big with you. It wasn't like little things. It was like these big things happening. And I love the fact that you're able to maneuver in these different cities to learn the different cultures, the different people, right? You say Bethlehem is Christmas city. Yes, you got to pay attention to these things, because where you're located is right in the heart of it.
And my Bethlehem location, just like my silk mill, it was a mill back in the day. So that place was abandoned. So we kept the brick exposed, the history. I don't want to say more. You got to come check us out, man. You got to come visit us.
Even where is that one at?
This one is 613 East Broad Street.
Okay.
And it's literally next to the Wawa, next to the Bayou. So it's a beautiful place, man. I even got like pictures from my friend Pixel Pre all over the shop from Bethlehem and barbers and all that stuff. Check it out.
I like that. So you're doing all these things. You're opening up all these businesses. Meanwhile, you're doing real estate. You mentioned that you've been quiet for the past 2 years. What chapter of your life are you in right now?
I'll say peace, growing. I learned a lot in the past year. I value my family more, my loved ones, my good friends. In the past year, I saw people that really stuck into, my life. Yeah. And I think I mentioned this before. I stopped asking God to give me certain things. I'm at this point that I just ask God, just guide me. Do you want me to keep opening more barbershops and create more jobs? Let's do it. But just put me in the right place with the right people.
That's a recurring theme in your life.
This is the reason why I'm here with you today. And God has good things for you, man, and you're doing a good job. I see you on social media, and I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you, my friend. That means a lot. That means a lot, especially for us meeting in person for the first time. Like I said, I admire what you do, and there was this curiosity in me that I wanted to know how. I wanted to know who's the man behind this, and why do people trust him? And now I'm getting a glimpse of that. You got the recurring theme over the years. You're a good person. You put good out, even on the hard days, you put your best foot forward. You wake up, as entrepreneurs, there's days where we don't want to go to the barbershop.
No.
There's days I don't want to shoot this video, right?
Yeah.
But I wake up and I realize who else is dependent on me. I realize all these goals I set aren't now just for me. They're for my family. They're for my friends. They're for the people that mean something to me. So I put my best face on and I leave the house.
You're starting to see that sometimes, and I'm not trying to say, because my brothers are like, I want to say 9 to 5 blue collar workers. They're hardworking guys, but they don't have all that responsibility like you and me that we have. There could be some good months and there could be some really bad ones. And it's really up to us, like to us, what are we going to do with it? I was not feeling good because I'm a human. I mess up. I'm a very, people would think I'm strong in a lot of things, and I am, but I have emotions, I have a heart, I have feelings, and there was a time in my life that it was a little bit dark. It was a little bit dark, and my friend said, she was like, Ronald, I don't know how do you do it, like you're not a drinker, you're not doing all this current drugs. I'm like, no, I started to learn things is like, make it come organically to you. Don't force it. But there was a time in my life that I was in a little bit of a dark place. And then one day I was like, I can't let myself go. I have a family. I have people that rely on me. If I keep messing up, all these people are gonna be without a job and they're gonna lose it. Some of them, they're gonna move on, but some of them, there's people like, I'm very personal with my employees. I know about them. And that's just my way. And I'm like, I'm gonna lose it all if I keep it up this way. Just keep going. I got up and no, you don't, I didn't want to keep failing. There was a lot of people, there was a lot of pieces moving. The people that rely on me. And that's one thing as a business owner, you have a family, you have a wife, you have kids, you got to see now, when they say balance, I don't know if there's balance, man. Sometimes people, oh no, you got to know how to balance things. Okay. Like, I had calls that I have to go to the barbershop 11 at night, 12, a pipe burst or something like that. There's no really like, oh, you need to balance things out. You just got to take the risk and keep going.
I don't think there's enough hours in a day for
I
us.
want more hours. Don't you want more hours?
Just one more hour a day, I think would help.
One more hour, yeah?
One more hour would help.
Yeah.
You were in a dark space.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say to somebody that's in that dark space right now that sees no hope at the end of the tunnel, sees no light? What do you say to that person?
Pray. There was somebody in my life that she came for a reason, and this person always used to tell me to pray. And I did it. Praying is very powerful. God does listen to you, man.
Before that dark time, were you praying?
Not much. Not much.
How has your
My life
faith-
was different too.
Okay.
See, when I was in my 30s, I was partying a lot. I was traveling. I've been to different countries. Like I told you, in my 30s, I got a vacation home in the DR. I was kind of living like a retired life in a way, like parties, and there was a lot of drinking involved. And my life is different now.
I think you have to go through those stages to really find true fulfillment.
Yeah.
I feel like I went through that phase. There was a good 2-3 years where I was just shooting videos inside clubs. And I thought I was the man because I would walk into these clubs and skip the line, get paid to be in the club. I will go to the best concerts I've ever been to, and I was paid to be front row.
Wow.
Right? Because I'm shooting it, I'm capturing the moment. I still remember the first time I bought a bottle from my friends. We were all celebrating, like, yo, we bought a bottle.
But
at the
celebrating
club.
what?
Yeah. But
Celebrating what?
Exactly that, right? So I think you have to go through that to then later on be able to say, hey, man, what was I doing?
Yeah.
What was I doing, right?
Yeah.
You go through those moments, and in the moment, you're like, this is great, but you start to want more. And us as entrepreneurs, the finish line always changes.
You have kids?
I have 2 kids. I got a 10-year-old daughter and an 8-month-old daughter.
So, man, you have a beautiful family. Mm-hmm. This gentleman told me a couple of years ago, not so long ago, he was like, even if you keep growing in business, but what really fulfills you? And at the end, he's like, what's your purpose? Why are you doing all this? What's your purpose? What are you getting from this? That's the whole thing. See, like me, 20 years ago, my purpose was, I need to do better. I can't. I don't want to be limited to things. I want to give my mom, my son a better life. This and that. I want to grow. What's your purpose? You need to have a purpose. And now I'm at a different stage in my life.
You found your purpose after your darkest times?
Yeah. And I'm gonna keep going and probably find more.
I love that you say that because I think, it's understanding that there might be a time that's even darker in the future, right? The fact that you're strong enough to get yourself out of dark times and really succeed after that makes you so much stronger. Makes you be able to share with people and talk to people and say, hey, I've been there. Believe me, it gets better. Right? That's believable when that person's really been through it. If you just tell me that and you've never been through anything, I can't relate.
And this is, again, going back with my mom, my dad, certain things, like they didn't know. They didn't have information. I love them, but they didn't have certain information. They couldn't like guide me the right way, probably. I don't hate them for that.
Did you? Did you ever feel any type of way towards them because of that?
Yeah, when you're young. I was younger. My parents separated. I miss my dad a lot. I think having the father figure in a boy's life is very important. But my father was always present, though. He would always kind of like come visit us every other weekend. And the most important thing, my mom never talked bad about him. So I think that made it even till now. She didn't put nothing against him, like for the decisions that he made or they both made. So my father this is what I say, I probably didn't see him every day, but as I got older, everything that he said at one point, now I understand it more as a man, as an adult. There was a reason why he said all those things.
It's crazy that you were paying attention.
But don't get me wrong, there was some time when I was a teenager, or even in my early 20s, like, I remember when he found out that I was gonna be a dad, you're like, boy, you need to step it up. Nobody's here to help you. You're responsible for all of this. So I was expecting like some kind of help from my family members. Life is hard, man. You gotta keep pushing. And not only that, but there was other scenarios in my life that I was like, man, I miss my dad, like in certain things. But when he would talk to me, it was very powerful.
I love that it's stuck. It's like, it's crazy, but I was literally living this yesterday morning when I'm dropping my daughter off to school. And she's going through something at school with some friends. She's 10 years old, this fifth grade girls. It's like, oh man, too much drama for me, right? So I'm giving her advice and I'm like, at a certain point, I look at her and I'm like, I know this might seem like a lot. I'm giving you a lot of concepts that you probably don't understand right now. But in the back of my head, I'm like, I know she's listening. I can tell she cares. And she may not be answering right now, but I can tell she's listening. And I try my best not to do too much of it, but it's like I'm intentional with what I say. I'm intentional with the things that I put out to her and how I hold myself up to these standards, because now I got 2 daughters looking up to me, So I love the fact that you're able to reflect back on it. And in the moment, you're like, yeah, nah, I didn't get it then. But they stuck with you, with your dad.
Yeah, like my dad said this, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, what your dad said to you really stuck with you, and you might have realized it 10 years later, but it's like, there's a reason you remembered, right? There's a bigger reason why you remembered. And I think a lot of people are gonna remember you, man, because you may not see it now, but what you're doing is little gems and little things you're dropping that people eventually in the long run are gonna be like, damn, I remember him. Yeah. I remember that.
I remember one thing he used to tell me, like he used to talk about life and what men go through sometimes. And he goes, you know what? Do things from the heart. Most of the time, it's not gonna be rewarding. But when it goes good, it's gonna come back to you double blessings. And he was like, try to do the right thing, even when no one is looking. It's hard sometimes. Little things like that. So, like I said, my father, every time I spend time with him, it was valuable. He throws some good information at me, man. That this was Ronald back in his early 20s. Like, You know, he was the one that he would explain to me about this. He would talk to me, have a Pinot Noir or Cabernet, listening to Buena Vista Social Club, Julio Jaramillo, you know, and I grew up with all of that. And he would talk about life. But all those lessons that he told me, now I can see it.
I love that you can reflect on that. I love that you can look back and truly appreciate it, because that says a lot about you and your character. These are things that's happened to you years ago, tens of years ago. And this is something that I want to end with and ask you, because we ask all our guests on here, right? You've gotten to sit and really think about everything you've done in these past couple of years, right? Sometimes it's good to be able to sit down, ground yourself, and reflect on everything you've done. You've done so much. With that being said, what does the next 10 years look like for Ronald Corales?
I get a wiser Ronald, hopefully with a family. More barbershops. I don't know, man. There's a lot of things that goes into my mind. I can't really say, but like, there's one thing I never thought, and I mentioned to you this before. Money is a tool. It gives you some kind of freedom. Money is very important. But if there's something with my business that I'm very proud of, and I'm like, man, it feels good. Like today, I had that feeling. I was looking around. Everybody's busy. Everybody's cutting. I have these new apprentices. How can you change other people's lives? From one little dream that I had when I was a little boy, a young Ronald, a little Ronald. I have 3 barbershops, man, and I have barbers that, you know, they have families, they have their kids, their wives, and they're bringing food into the table. They're buying their first homes, and man, you don't know how that feeling is. I can't explain it. Sometimes it gives me goosebumps. I'm like, that makes me so happy. Because, you know, life is simple. Like I told you, sometimes we make it more complicated. I don't need a lot. You know, but seeing all those things, like from one little dream that I had, look at all these people, they're working. And my numbers are good when it comes to like my barbers. They've been with me for a while. I don't even put really that I'm hiring for people. They always come to me looking for a job. So there's something out there. Somebody's saying that this gentleman's barbershop has a good reputation, you know, like that makes me really happy.
My friend Ronald, listen, I want to say thank you. From us here at the platform. We want to thank you for sharing your story. And we want to tell you to keep dreaming, because that other little Ronald, he's watching, man. Yeah. So thank you for sharing your time, my friend. I truly mean it. Thank you for being here and sharing some time.
Don't give up. Keep going. Thank you very much, Nick, for having me here. I wish you nothing but the best, brother.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.